Buenos dias, Barcelona. Welcome to the Catalan capital here in Spain for the penultimate round of the 2025 Italian Championship. Nice to have your company as you join us at the 1992 Olympic Games host city, immortalised by the late Freddie Mercury in the theme for the 25th Olympiad, better known to most of you as the circuit, where Oscar Piastri won this year's Spanish Formula One Grand Prix. The 3-minute board going up here on a sunny Saturday afternoon. 36 cars on the grid. We had qualifying earlier taking place this morning on what was still a cool circuit. It did dawn slightly overcast. We are in potentially for terrific thunderstorms tomorrow for races 2 and 3. But as you can see here in sunny Spain, yes, the track is dry and we're getting ready to race for the first of 3 times here this weekend. Nakamura Berta took pole position earlier this morning. Let's hear from both he and Olivieri. Nakamura Berta, pole position for race 1 here in Barcelona.
Yeah, I think overall both qualies were pretty good. P1 and Q1, a little bit lucky maybe with the red flag, but I think the car was good. Me and Emanuele were trading fastest laps every lap, which was fun. And then Q2 struggled a little bit more. I was expecting a step which didn't really come from the track. Yeah, I think we're in a good place, to be honest.
Yeah, it was quite a crazy qualifier. I mean, in few practice the pace I think was good. Unfortunately, last round were quite unlucky, so I was here like ready to do the maximum. I mean, the lap wasn't perfect, but the grip was good. The team did an amazing job, and the car was just mega.
36 cars on the grid. You're starting position 1. What is your approach downhill into the first corner?
Yeah, for sure. The first corner is quite far, but I will do my best, and I really want to win.
Nakamura taking pole position for race 1, Olivieri for races 2 and 3. We take a look at the grid. It is K&B out of pole alongside Olivieri, Salim Hanna, Gabriel Gomez, who's still fighting for the title, remember, Sebastian Weldon and Artem Severukian out of position 6 for the Jensen Motorsport team. Newman Chi, the Australian Dante Vinci, Max Popoff, his VAR teammate Lucas Samalisto, Bader Al-Solati, the Qatari Superb in P11 alongside the Williams Jr. Alexander Bondarev. We go to Teo Schroff from Argentina alongside the pole Alexander Ruta, Alex Powell back in 15 alongside the Singaporean Kabir Anurag, DCC, that's David Cosma Christopher, the sole PHM car, and the Norwegian Marcus Sata out of 18. We go to grid 19. It's the Englishman Bart Harrison who will race GB3 in just a few weeks' time. Jan Koller, welcome back to the Czech for us racing. Andrea Dupé out of 21 alongside Luca Vistoriano, now lining up for RSGP. Ludovico Busso for US Racing is the Sicilian. Emily Cotti. And then it's Andy Consani, Andrea Kostic, Elia Weiss, who had a crash in qualifying, Peyton Westcott, David Walter and Kirill Kutskov out of grid 30. The car setting off on the formation lap. Gael Bag on 31, Matilda Parts, Phil Strange, that's the 2 Germans, Nathaniel Berby, Andre Rodriguez from the United States of America, and Cornelia Olkutska. She starts out of grid 36. Nakamura Berta, pole position for race 1 with a 1:41.864. Olivieri, a 47.460, taking pole position for race 2. That's tomorrow morning. And then the final race here in Barcelona tomorrow evening also sees the Italian for the French RSGP team on pole position here in Spain for the penultimate round of the Italian Championship. Nice to have your company wherever you are watching all around the world. There is Max Popoff going through in car 3. We'll start just behind his teammate Dante Vinci. On your screen is the Sydney sider. They came together 6 days ago in fact, at Mugello in the E4 Championship. We'll see what they can do. They both start inside the top 10. It is Nakamura Berta, the championship leader, on pole position. Olivieri is alongside Salim Hanna, the top rookie out of grid 3, alongside Gabriel Gomez. We just take a moment. This is not easy. Someone watching on from the other side of the English Channel, you may have heard the news during the week that the shocking news which has rocked the motor racing world. Will McIntyre, diagnosed with both lung cancer and brain cancer in the past few days. Terrible news. We cast our minds back. A wet day at Angeville 2019, the WSK Euro Series. It was pouring rain. Everyone just wanted to get out of the southern Parisian circuit. The WSK Euro Series on the top step of the podium that day back in April 2019 was William McIntyre, who won the race from Rashid Al Dahedi and Ian Eichmans. Everyone was soaking wet and sad except for Will, who was smiling on the top step of the podium, as was his mother, who was the happiest person at the circuit. Gone on to race and win in British F4 and also in GB3. His season has come to a stop for the moment. Will, mate, you don't know how many people around the world are praying for your recovery. Will Mac, we want to see you back on track really soon, mate. We wish you all the best from everyone here in Barcelona. Nakamura Berta on pole position, the visor open. There is his teammate just behind, Salim Hanna. 36 cars making their way around the famous final circuit here at Barcelona. 4.6 kilometre lap length of this famous Catalan circuit, built more than 3 decades ago now. Keen Nakamura Berta on pole position, Olivieri to the left of screen on Keen's right. As we wait for the final cars, Andre Rodriguez and Cornelia Okutska line up on grid 36. We welcome you to the home of the Spanish Formula One Grand Prix. This is Barcelona, the penultimate round of the Italian Championship, the first of 3 races this weekend. K&B on pole position. The 5 red lights, the championship leader on grid 1 for the first time this weekend here in Spain. We race. Gomez stalls. Gabriel Gomez from the second row of the grid fighting for the championship has been avoided by the rest of the pack. Thankfully, they've got by the Brazilian, who has lost at least 20 positions. It's the Prema Racing Team. 1, 2 and 3. Keen Nakamura Berta locks up, goes P1. Vinci around the outside. He's not the only driver to cut the first corner. Look at the dust and debris as they fly through the first few curves. But it's Nakamura Berta who leads the Prema Racing Team. 1, 2 and 3. Great start from Salim, but Sebastian has centered by the South American. Weldon, just awesome to watch. Here's the Andretti Jr. has come storming through from grid 5. And the driver from the United States of America, who is still fighting for the title of vice champion, technically still the title as well, goes through to P2. But the championship leader, the pole sitter, Keen Nakamura Berta, leads the early stages of the first of 3 races here at Catalunya in Spain this weekend. Weldon, Hanna, Olivieri from grid 2 drops back to 4. There's his teammate going through. One of multiple teammates. Theo Schropp, the Argentine, up inside the top 10. Good start also from the Norwegian Marcus Sata. Keen Nakamura Berta into the left-hander, into Kaya Bend, as the field fan out a relatively clean start for the first of 3 races here this weekend. The championship leader is the race leader and already pulling out almost 1 second to his American teammate. Weldon, Hanna, Olivieri, Newman-Chi up into P5 from Dante Vinci. Car 66 in position 6 from Artem Severukian. The Mafi Racing duo going on through. Kirill Kutskov in car 31, just behind his Swiss teammate, Nathaniel Berrabi. But it's K&B in position 1. As we go across the line for the first time, the gap stays 1 second dead. 236 kilometers an hour down into turn 1. Weldon, Salim Hanna, there is Anurag. Goes by Maximilian Popov, Powell. Car 41 in position 14. Looks like Harrison going wide. Bart losing the position to Andy Consani. The second Mercedes Junior in the second RSGP car. The first Olivieri, car 68 in position 4. There's Teo Schropp inside the top 10 for the Jensen Motorsport team. 23, that's his teammate going through. Artem Severukian, who took 2 victories 6 days ago at Kazan in the SMP Russian Championship. Artem in position 7 from Luca Samalisto. Bader Al-Sulati now up into position 8. And for our viewers watching on in South America, I've got news for you regarding your boy from Brazil, and it's not good news at that. Gabriel Gomez has just limped into pit lane with a punctured left rear, and there may actually be suspension damage. As we look at Luca Samalisto, that is Bader Al-Sulati from the Qatari Motorsports Federation. 2023 Qatari kart racing champion, well inside the top 10, so 3 Jensen Motorsport cars, together with Artem and Teo. Bader Al-Sulati has had an excellent rookie debut here, not only racing in this, the most competitive junior F4 championship in the world, but racing in Europe altogether. He's inside the top 10 in this 36 car field, which has been reduced to 35 because Gabriel Gomez is parked down in pit lane. It looks as though his day has come to a premature end. Andy Consani fighting with Alexander Ruta, the RSGP team, who won the season opening United Arab Emirates F4 Championship with Emanuele Olivieri. And that driver on your screen, Alex Powell. We take a look at the start. Gomez does get away ever so slightly. Tremendous avoidance from Artem Severukian. Gabriel Gomez avoided by the rest of the pack. He wasn't the only one to stall because David Cosma Christopher, how close was this for the Romanian who took pole in Rome, avoided by the rest of the field. This is the reason. Gabriel Gomez making contact, it looked to have been with Luca Vistoriano, who lines up now for the RSGP team. This is Olivieri, who starts pole for races 2 and 3 later this weekend. All over the back of Salim Hanna, who's still the top rookie in P3. Luca Vistoriano, also for the RSGP team, down in 28th position, making his Formula 3 debut, or in Formula 3 spec machinery. That was in the Euro Formula Open Championship at the Red Bull Ring 2 weeks ago. Also here this weekend in Spain, racing with GT Open, the Italian F.4 Championship, the Euro Formula Open, the Formula Regional European Championship, which of course was launched by WSK Promotion when Frederic Vesti took the inaugural title, including racing here at this very circuit back in 2019. Severukian in P7 from Luca Samalisto. This is Salim Hanna. Olivieri from P2 on the grid has now fallen off the podium for the early stages of what has been a relatively clean start for the first of 3 races here this weekend. Nakamura Berta with the lead. It has been cut down to 0.6 of a second to Sebastian Weldon, who's in second place from grid 5 with a storming start. I can certainly tell you that Sebastian has made quite a few fans on this side of the Atlantic Ocean in 2025, racing with the Prema Racing team. Quietly, even rival teams, they won't admit this publicly, but privately they will say, boy, we really like how this kid from Florida in the United States does race. He's got spark, he's got fight, he's quick, he's in P2 from grid 5. And he's cut the gap down to 0.6 of a second now. His Prema Racing teammates ahead and behind. This is Salim Hanna, as we already approach the first third of the first of 3 races here this weekend. Bondarev, head of Anurag, pop off. Powell, Consani, the 2 Mercedes AMG juniors. Alexander Ruta, Bart Harrison, Marcus Sata, Ludovico Busso, and Jan Koller in position 20. Good start from Kirill Kutskov as well for the Maffei Racing team. He's passed something like 9 cars already. Going by Elia Weiss, who had a big crash this morning in qualifying. Great performance for the Cram Motorsport team. to even get his car on track. This just a few moments ago. Can see the recovering David Cosmo Christopher behind Emily Cotti and going off into the gravel. Luca Vistoriano, the Romanian from Bucharest, we were just mentioning 2 weeks ago, 13 days ago, racing at Euro Formula Open. And now lining up for our race GP into the gravel in the early stages in one of 5 cars for the RAce GP team. Artem Severukian. Car 23 behind Dante Vinci, still Salim Hanna, the top rookie. The field fan on by, there was Harrison, Sata, Busso, Kola, Kutskov, Weiss, Gael Bag, Nathaniel Berta and David Cosmo Christopher from stalling has fought his way back into position 25. The second Romanian, who of course did take pole position at Vallelunga in Rome. Lucky to still be in the race after stalling along with Gabriel Gomez off the start. This is Olivieri going through. Car 68 still in position 4. Not a good morning, not a good start for the US Racing team. Gabriel Gomez into pit lane with a punctured left rear. Has retired. And Andrea Kostic, his Serbian teammate, has joined him. The US Racing team down to 3 cars after the retirement of both their Serbian and Brazilian drivers. Artem Severukin going on through. .408. Cosmo Christopher on the outside trying to hold the line. And looks as though he may have done so with Nathaniel Berta as one of the VAR cars in the background. Cosmo Christopher in this ferocious battle. This is outside the top 20, remember? Elia Weiss just behind. Cosmo Christopher, Andrea Dupé, who will start grid 8 in race 2 tomorrow morning, but the French driver who's had a tough 2025, back in 27th at the moment. Big launch down the inside. There's Dupé on the outside. Berta, Matilda Parts from Germany tries to join in this battle. There is the AS Racing Matilda Racing entry, just behind car 22. Matilda Parks trying to get the run on Nathaniel Berta. Guy Elbag just goes on by. Behind Elia Weiss, as we mentioned, a big crash. He brought out a red flag 30 seconds from the end of qualifying this morning. The Cram Motorsport team, Gabriele Rosé, and the team doing a tremendous job. Tremendous job to get their German driver back on track. Elia Weiss in 22nd position, just behind the 2023 World Kart Racing champion Kirill Kutskov for Mafri Racing in 31. Kin Nakamura Berta, 2021 Junior World Kart Racing champion for the Forza Racing team. He's in P1 as we see this battle heating up for the final step of the podium. Weldon in P2, back to Salim Hanna. Olivieri and Newman Chi is the race leader. Weldon, he's pulled out over 2 seconds back to his South American teammate. Wider line from Olivieri. So there's 4 Prema Racing cars inside the top 5, split by tomorrow morning's race 2 pole sitter. The driver from the north of Italy, the former WSK Final Cup champion, Emanuele Olivieri, who is of course still the top Italian here in Spain in the Italian National Championship. Look at Olivieri's slide. Spectacular from the Italian. Samalisto going through. There is Bader Al-Sulati flying the flag for the Qatar Motorsports Federation. Of course, the Kusal circuit hosting the penultimate round of this year's FIA Formula One World Championship. He's had a brilliant debut season in 2025. The driver from Qatar, he won the 2023 Qatari Kart Racing Championship, well inside the top 10 in this 36 car field. Bader from Qatar in car 26, ahead of the Argentine Theo Schropp. Olivieri races down the 1 kilometre long main straight here at Barcelona, 236, 237 kilometres an hour. and see Severukian trying to break the toe. In fact, it was Teo Schrupp from Alexander Bondarev. Dante Vinci, the Australian, 66 in P6 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Nakamura Berta has put the gap out to 1.2 seconds as we approach already the second half of the first of 3 races here this weekend. Olivieri on the back of Salim Hanna, the Italian, on the back of the Colombian. Salim Hanna with that fantastic victory, 2022. You may cast your mind back to the WSK Open Cup at the centre of the karting universe, South Garda Karting Lonato. He took a dominant victory, a first-class victory for Ricky Flynn Motorsports that day. His first major international race win. Salim Hanna now on the podium and the first rookie with tomorrow morning's pole sitter on your screen in 68 just behind. And it's Newman Chi, Dante Vinci, Severukian, Samalisto, the Finn, ahead of the Qatari, and Teo Schrupp, the Argentine, in P10. Nakamura Berta starts lap 8 and the gap blows out to 1.5 seconds. Nakamura Berta, reminding you, is the championship leader on 246 points. 191 points in second place to Gabriel Gomez. But remember, the Brazilian gets 0 out of this race. Stalled at the start, was forced into pit lane with damage. He's out of race 1. Sebastian Weldon, third in the series on 155 points. From Alex Powell on 125 and Salim Hanna on 116 points. On your screen in car 88, 5th in the series, and also leading the Rookie Championship. Severukian getting close to the back of Dante Vinci. Had a strong run, did the Australian, at Mugello last week in the 3-round E4 Championship. Tighter line over the ripple strip that time from Olivieri. Does not slide, does not want to burn out those tyres. Vinci, Severukian, Vicenza Motorsport. There is Weldon, Olivieri. Sebastian just locks up ever so slightly. Tighter line from Olivieri, who will try and get the run, get the slipstream. Severukian will do likewise on the back of Dante Vinci, who is the top driver for Van Amersfoort Racing. Works the steering wheel as they go flat at 190 kilometres an hour through that final corner coming onto the straight. Olivieri gets the slipstream. On the back of Salim Hanna, is he too far back to attack? We're about to find out. Down into turn 1, Nakamura Berta starts lap 9. 2 seconds clear of this driver on your screen, Sebastian Weldon, who lost a ton of time that time round. There's Newman Chi, Dante Vinci, Severukian, Samalisto, Bardera, Solati, and Teo Schrupp in P10. Olivieri just slides wide there ever so slightly. That was costly. Javier Arnoldag, big moment for the Singaporean. Rallycross style down through turn 1. The Alpine F1 Academy Junior, who was disappointed with his qualifying run this morning. Javier Arnoldag drops down the field. As now Severukian gets on the back of Dante Vinci, who will need to snap into some form here to defend from the driver who won twice 6 days ago at Kazan to take the lead in the SMP Russian Championship. Nakamura Berta trying to win the Italian Championship. Olivieri, of course, who won the season opening United Arab Emirates F4 Championship in the Middle East. It was an RHGP 1-2. Emanuele winning that from Alex Powell, who took pole position at Mugello a week ago. But now car 41 in position 1-4, ahead of the second Mercedes AMG Junior, Andy Consani, also for RHGP. Look at the lead from Nakamura Berta. It is 3 seconds now. Weldon's losing time. As we go into the final third of the race, there is Anurag trying to shake the toe. Goes straight ahead, does Max Popoff. Max Popoff off the road, has to go around the bollard. And now Alex Powell will try and take the driver who finished on the podium in race 1 in the F.4 Championship at Mugello last week. Anurag not far outside the top 10. A better recovery for the Singaporean after qualifying this morning. There is Kabir. Go back to Consani, Ruta, Bart Harrison, Marcus Sata, Ludovico Pusso. And his US Racing teammate, Jan Koller. Huge moment for Max Popoff. Massive correction. The question is, was he helped? Did well regardless to hold on to it. Max, off track, still in position 13. This is Olivieri, who started grid 2, but has been frustrated for the entire first 2/3 of this race. Stuck in position 4. Can't really win the championship. In fact, mathematically is out of it. But can certainly finish 2025 on a high. Started the year with a couple of podiums, including at Vallelonga. As we see off the road in the background, one of the RSGP cars by the Paolo Consani. We go into the final third of race 1 here in sunny Spain, the penultimate round of the 2025 championship. Nakamura Berta leads, he disappears out of sight. One of the US Racing cars has gone around. It looks to be Jan Koller. The check, it looks as though he's got the engine still running. He hasn't stalled. This is down into turn 1, and he's back underway. Bondarev with Teo Schropp, who's off the road. The Ukrainian all crossed up over the ripple strip, and Teo, the Argentine, did give him space, but drove off into the gravel. Was having a fine run inside the top 10, has dropped back to 15th place. A nervous moment there for Alexander Bondarev, as you see Olivieri now trying to attack on the inside. He gets the run on the back of Salim Hana. Tries to dive down the inside. There is no space there. And now Sebastian Weldon with a little bit of breathing space. Nakamura Berta is walking away with race 1 here. We go into the final third of the race. The gap more than 4 seconds between the Japanese and American drivers. Look at Keane disappearing down into turn 1. Weldon, Salim Hana, Olivieri. 28 is Newman Chi from Dante Vinci. 145 miles an hour for Weldon from the United States of America. Holds on to P2 from Salim Hana. Olivieri, Newman Chi, Dante Vinci, Severukian, Lucas Sabalisto in car 7. As we see Andy Consani, it was Andy, the young French rookie, who went off the road earlier on. He's just come down into pit lane and looks as though he will be the 3rd retirement from race 1 here this afternoon. Luca, car 7 in P8, just behind Artem Severukian. And we cannot speak highly enough of the driver from Qatar in the Middle East, the city-state nation, which of course recently hosted the FIFA World Cup and will host the penultimate round of the FIA Formula 1 World Championship at the magnificent Lusail Qatar circuit. Bader Al-Salati, car 26 for the Swiss Jensen Motorsport team. Inside the top 10, as is Newman Chi, just ahead of Dante Vinci. Slightly defensive now from Weldon. Dive down the inside, Severukian sends it from position 7 on Dante Vinci, who fights, will not surrender the place. Severukian on the inside, he becomes the outside, runs into the back of the Australian. Here's hope for Lucas Samalisto as well. And Al-Sulati, Dante Vinci An enormous attack. He's withstood the pressure for the moment from Artem Severukin. Fabulous racing between these two drivers as Sebastian Weldon tries to shake the slipstream from Salim Hanna. Dante Vinci under attack. The Australian still in position 6. Nakamura Berta has gone. He's 5 seconds clear of this battle for second place on your screen. Weldon, Salim Hanna, Sebastian slides wide into turn 2. Salim around the outside, the Prema Racing Team drivers. Watch Olivieri, who tries to split the both of them, get at least back up onto the podium. Nakamura Berta is out of sight, literally, as the field come up to the corner where Nico and Lewis spectacularly went wheel to wheel in 2016. Salim has gone through and taken Sebastian, as has Olivieri. Weldon's in trouble here. From P2, that storming start from grid 5 has fallen back to P4 after running in second place, just behind Newman Chi. Of course, a race winner outright, the young Chinese rookie who won race 3 at Monza in the third round of the championship. Sebastian, 98. This, Bart Harrison, fighting there with Marcus Sata. Slight contact, the Englishman and the Norwegian. Marcus does well to bring it back on the road. Bart, 77 in 16th. And Marcus, 67 for Van Amersfoort Racing in 18th place, just ahead of Kirill Kutskov. This is Weldon from Newman Chi. Dante Vinci still in position 6. Not from Artem Severukin though. It is now Luca Samalisto, car 7 in position 7. They go down the start-finish straight. We watch the fin on the back of the Australian, the driver from 200 kilometres to the north of Helsinki, where it's about to get ferociously and frightening cold in the coming few months. Luca Samalisto for the German team. Now the best US racing driver after the retirement of both Kostic and Gomez earlier on in the race, trying to take the first Van Amersfoort Racing driver. Dante Vinci. Weldon under attack now from Newman Chi. Salim Hanna in P2, incidentally still P1 in the rookie race. Second, Newman Chi is the second rookie, and Dante Vinci, 6th outright and still on the rookie podium for the moment. Samalisto, Bader Al-Solati, position 8. There goes the Qatari through ahead of Severukin. And a great fight back from the Singaporean Kabir Anurag. Back in Nowheresville after qualifying. He's now inside the top 10. The Alpine F1 Academy Junior, just ahead of the Williams Junior, Alexander Bondarev. Dive down the inside, Luca sends it. Samalisto fired it down. He's held the place. Superb from the fin. What a move from Luca. Car 7 was in position 7. He's just taken 66. Who was in position 6 for most of the race. Dante Vinci did give him space. Nakamura Berta starts lap 15, 5 seconds clear of his Colombian teammate Salim Hanna. Olivieri. Weldon still in P4. Newman Chi and Lucas Samalisto. What a move from the fin. .333 plus 1 lap left on the clock here for the first of 3 races here this weekend. There is Al-Solati, the 2 Jensen Motorsport teammates. Artem Severukin, car 23. Behind Bader in car 26, Kabir Anurag. Now inside the top 10 from Bondarev, Popov, Powell, Ruta, Teo Schrock, Harrison, Busso, Kirill Kutskov. From 30th, now up into 18th for the Maffei Racing Team. Albag and Marcus Sata ahead of Elia Weiss in P20. Newman Chi, you can see, taking ground out of his American teammate. Newman drones in on the back of the Andretti Junior driver, car 98. Just lets the car float, just lets it drift as they go down into turn 10. Here's defense from Al-Solati. on the back of his Jensen Motorsport teammate. Severukin just runs him off into the marbles. On the inside, though, gives him a little bit of space. Now Berta, he drifts it. Fabulous racing between the two teammates. And the Qatari holds the place. Here comes the Singaporean. Kabir ahead of Alexander Bondarev. Nakamura Berta just stares at the right side mirror. Going down into turn one, he's controlling the pace. He's backed off. He's 5 seconds clear as now Weldon has to defend from Newman Chi. Tries the inside, tries the outside. Watch Luca in the background. Newman Chi, he's got the grip. He drives on by, and Weldon is back to P5. This is Anurag. Great recovery from the Singaporean. Ahead of the Williams strider just behind Alexander Bondarev. Samalisto now on the back of Weldon. This is Kabir in car 19 for Us Racing. A strong innings here for the Singaporean. Al Salati just locks up. Dante Vinci just ahead. Samalisto will attack Sebastian Weldon before the race is out. Unfortunately for the American, it looks as though they will cross the line. In fact, they will. As the clock still ticks down towards the 30-minute mark. They adjust, though. It is 30 minutes plus 1 lap. This is lap 16. A clear race, no safety car intervention. As Luca just has a look down the inside of Sebastian Weldon. Al Salati just drifts from Severukin. Tell you that Luca Vistoriano has also pulled into pit lane as well. The Romanian looking to be the 4th retirement. There's Severukin on the back of Al Salati. Nakamura Berta has crossed the line already. He starts lap 17. He's 5 seconds clear. Sebastian is in trouble. He goes to the right, he goes to the left. He's zigzagging, trying to shake the Finning car 7 as they race down the start-finish straight at 236 kilometers an hour. For our friends on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, that is 145 miles an hour as Al Salati still continues to fight with Severukin. Sebastian holds the place. He's under attack. Here comes Samalisto, Vinci, Al Salati, Severukin, and the Singaporean Kabir Anurag. What a drive from grid 16. He's inside the top 10 and may pick up another couple of positions here. Samalisto on the outside, though there's no grip there, but he's got momentum, he's got speed. He's on the outside, it becomes the inside. Samalisto sends it on Sebastian. That storming start from grid 5 into P2, and he's falling backwards now as Lucas Samalisto up into P5. Weldon, Vinci, Severukin, Al Salati. There's Kabir Anurag, Bondarev, and Alex Powell. 30 minutes, so next time round the last lap board, which is being prepared on the start-finish line. A sedate start, but this race has certainly come alive in the dying stages here in the Spanish sunshine. Lock up from Al Salati, that will be costly. At least one position. Alex on the outside. Alex now on the inside, nicely done. And the Jamaican hasn't been a sensation thus far after a poor run in qualifying, but we know this kid from the Caribbean has got talent. Goes up the inside as now Kabir Anurag does likewise on the Qatari. Watch Powell in car 41. Anurag with the big don't argue as they take the last lap board. In the first of 3 races here this weekend, they're 2 wide, they're 3 wide. It is on as K&B races away, almost certainly to take the first victory of the weekend. Al Salati, after that tremendous drive into P8, has just been passed by Bondarev and Popov and falls outside the top 10. On your screen, on his way to victory, the championship leader in position 1, Kin Nakamura Berta. Stopped on the side of the circuit, Luca Vistoriano. Yellow flag on the side of the circuit in a precarious position. Luca Vistoriano has stopped on the side of the circuit, made a pit stop a few moments ago, just a local yellow. This is the last lap of the race. The race leaders go on by. He did rejoin, but has only made it out halfway around the track. Nakamura Berta came to Spain with a 55-point lead in the championship. He will extend it Was he waving to the crowd there? They are on the right side as he goes down into turn 10. He will extend his lead in the championship. He's about to pick up 25 points. As I nervously think back to the 1999 Spanish Formula One Grand Prix when Mika came to a stop right about there. Now it's downhill. He's got such a lead. He can coast. He will do it. The checkered flag is about to wave. Nakamura Berta for the Prema Racing Team rounds the final corner. He takes victory here in Spain. A perfect drive, K&B in P1. Salim Hanna, vamos! El Colombiano, home in second place. Olivieri on the podium in P3 for tomorrow morning's pole sitter. Newman Cheese, Sabalisto 5. Weldon 6 from Vinci, Severukin, Gabriel Anurag, and the Jamaican. Great recovery for Alex Powell to come home in P10. There's Harrison, Schropp, Busto, Kutskov, Gael Bag, Makasata, Cosmo Christopher, the top Romanian. Ahead of Elia Weiss, Dupe, Matilda Part, she crosses the line in 24, ahead of Emily Cotti. Nakamura Berta, perfect drive from pole position. He takes victory for the first time here in Spain. Luca Vistoriano stopped on the side of the circuit. We did lose his teammate Andy Consani, along with Jan Kola. He retired also. Andrea Kostic, Gabriel Gomez. So 4.5, really 5 retirements with Luca Vistoriano. He won't make it back to the pits. Nakamura Berta takes victory after starting from pole position here this weekend at the home of the Spanish Grand Prix. Extends his lead in the championship as well. 246 points coming into this penultimate round of the series. And he takes the win from Salim Hanna and Olivieri, who does get up onto the podium. Samalisto, fine drive into P5 from Weldon, Vinci, Severukin, Kabir Anurag, and Alex Powell into the top 10. Head of Bondarev, Popov, Ruta. Commiserations for Bader Al-Salati, but showed us again he's having a stunning rookie year in Europe. Head of Bart Harrison, the Englishman, who rounds out the top 15. Schropp, Busso, Kutskov from grid 30 for Maffei Racing comes home ahead of Guy Albag, Makasata. DCC, the top Romanian, head of Elia Weiss, Dupe, Matilda Parts, Emily Cotti. And it was DW David Walter back in 26 from Betterby. Peyton Westcott, quiet race for the Californian. She leads home Phil Strange and the other American driver, Andre Rodriguez, in position 30. Cornelia Olkutska, she crossed the line as the final finisher in position 31. Nakamura Berta takes victory. As we wait for the rest of the field to pull into pit lane, Salim Hanna wins the rookie race, incidentally, P2 outright. Second in the rookie battle, Newman Chi and Dante Vinci, 7th outright, but the third rookie home. He will stand on the rookie podium in just a moment. Olivieri steps out. We'll start from pole, remember, for races 2 and 3 tomorrow. Luigi Locerto working with the Prema Racing Team. Celebrates with his driver. There is the rest of the red team. Great first up effort, the engineer Kaspar from Poland, who's just joined Prema in the last few weeks. And starts his career with a win. We take a look at the highlights from race 1. Gabriel Gomez narrowly avoided by Artem Severukin as the Brazilian, who's still fighting for the championship, stalled off the line, as did David Cosmo Christopher in the background. We had a safety car free first race. Nakamura Berta into position 1, and from there, the rest of the field simply did not see which way the Japanese star went. Sebastian sent it from 5 up into 2nd place. Luca Vistoriano, the second Romanian, a rough start. He would ultimately retire, in fact, finish on the side of the circuit. Off the road for the second time in the opening stages. Max Popov with a wild moment down into turn one as Kabir Anurag picked them off one by one. Alexander Bondarev on the inside fighting with Teo Schropp, the Argentine, into the gravel, ultimately finishing down in 16th as Weldon had to shake Olivieri and his teammate Salim Hanna. Superb defense for as long as he could hold out. But around the outside, the South American on the North American, and the Italian also would take the Andretti Jr., who finished in position 6. Out front, car 51 in position 1. Unstoppable. Nakamura Berta takes victory in the first race here in Spain, the penultimate round of the Italian Championship. And the Italian Championship leader extends his lead in the series. He wins from Salim Hanna and Emanuele Olivieri. Emanuele will make his way out onto the podium, the RSGP driver.
Bienvenidos, Fórmula 4 Italian Championship. Vámonos con la categoría absoluto. Vámonos con el tercer clasificado para el italiano, Emanuele Olivieri.
Race 2, of course, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at local time, where the Italian will start on pole position. 11:40, in fact, tomorrow morning. His first pole position of the year as Salim gets dressed. Yes, it is a warm afternoon here in Spain, almost 30 degrees Celsius. Rookie victory as well. Nakamura Berta takes his 8th victory and extends his lead in the championship. There is Luigi Locerto, who's done a stunning job with the Prema Racing team, also working with them in the F1 Academy, to accept on behalf of the Prema Racing team the team's championship. Mr. Raffaele Gianmaria presents the 3rd place trophy to the RSGP driver. The first Italian home, the first non-Prema Racing team home. Salim Hanna wins the rookie race P2 outright, 8th victory of 2025 to the Japanese star Nakamura Berta. Nakamura Berta takes victory in race 1. Olivieri starts on pole position for race 2 at 11:40 tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for race 2 live from Catalonia in Spain.